What's good, my fellow Pal Tamers? In today's video, I'm back at it again with another Palworld video. How have you been? I hope you've been doing good. We received a brand new update and it's looking pretty damn nice. I'm not going to hold you, so without further ado, we're going to get straight into these patch notes. I'm going to show you the new items that have been added into the game, and some of these things are actually pretty impressive. It's going to be a little bit to get used to, but I'm sure we will all love all of these brand new items nonetheless. This is one of the new items that I'm speaking of. So right here is going to be the global PAL box. Now this thing is kind of interesting. You walk up to it and on PlayStation you push square, at which point you'll be able to take the DNA or the data of your actual PAL and copy that into the PAL box. It doesn't take this PAL out of your game. It just takes the DNA or the information of your PAL and put it in the PAL box. Now, I don't really know exactly how this works 121%. However, I have a couple of ideas how I think this is working. One of the rules of this is you can only have one of that PAL within a single world. Since I have my Lunaris, that is a boss PAL with anti-gravity, power bomb, plasma funnel, and all of that. If I try to take this Lunaris and put it in this world, it's going to tell me, no, you're going to overwrite the other one because you're only allowed to have one of the exact same PAL. But what I think this is made for is, if I'm not mistaken, I think you're able to take the DNA or the data of one of the PALs that you've created, and on a different world on that same console, you're able to take that PAL's data and add it into that world. So I'm going to test this out in a different video. And if that's how it works, awesome. If that's not how it works, we're going to figure it out right here on the channel. So stay locked in. Regardless, that's going to be this item right here. Pretty cool, meaning that you could just take the data of anything and copy it over to somewhere else. Awesome. However, but I'm wondering personally, what are the downsides to this, if there are any at all? Like if you have a Lunaris that has copied data and you add that into a brand new world and then you try to breed with that, is it able to pass over all the passives? Are some of the passives not going to go over? You know, what is the caveat? If there is any caveat, we're going to find it out as a community. I didn't see anything in these patch notes about that, but I think it would be pretty overpowered if there is no downside to it, but we'll just have to wait and see. Next up is going to be this thing right here. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is giving me all types of vibes. The dimensional PAL storage looks phenomenal. First of all, it has my favorite PAL's little model in there, A+. Secondly, it looks like something straight off of a Mewtwo movie. I love this thing to death. Like, I'm here for this. It looks amazing. Now, this has multiple functionalities. Let's go over all of it. On PlayStation 5, if I push triangle, I'll be able to let this be public to all guild members. If I push triangle again, I make it my own personal storage. Now, why is this important? Because it's 320 boxes of storage. That's a lot. So if you push square, there you go. I've already put in a whole bunch of PALs into the storage system, and yes, you have 320 boxes of storage for all of your PAL needs. This is just perfect. Now, to go ahead into another thing that was changed in this update is the sorting system. This down here, they added groups to your favorites, which I think is perfect for this game because I have different categories for my PALs, like my squad, the ones that I always want to use, my base PALs, the ones specifically only for bases, and then raiding PALs. Those are like my 3 different groups or tiers that I like to separate my PALs into within my favorites. And I always have my own little way of organizing my PALs, but this makes it so much easier. You can literally just go over a PAL in the box, and on PlayStation, you click favorite, which is the touchpad, and you can change which group it's in, or you can just turn that off altogether. Another way is going into the view details, push square, go right over to the favorites thing, which is tap triangle, and you can raise it up and down to every single group, or just take it out the group altogether. I don't know exactly when they did this. However, the NPCs in the game now have their own little icon. I think that's pretty cool. That's maybe something they adjusted in this update. I'm not really sure if they did or not, but regardless, I really like that little touch right there because it looks better than what it was before. But let's move on. Next up, we're going to have this right here. This is an OG item that we all know about, and I'm using it right now. Of course, you're going to be able to change your character creator, like go through the face options, hair options, voice, and all that stuff. But now you can edit your look. Now, when you do this, you are not defenseless, so if somebody comes to attack you, you will die. However, In this screen, you're going to be able to select exactly what you want your appearance to be. So right now I have my headgear turned off because I have it set to this right here, which is nothing. And for my body piece, I have the old school cold resistant refined metal armor as the body piece that I want to show. But currently I am wearing the lightweight hexalite armor for the, armor bonus. That's awesome to me. I love this feature. It being here is one of the greatest things they ever added into the game. Now for the glider, I use PAL for gliding, so I don't need this. But to be able to switch to whatever glider you wish is pretty awesome. It's all for aesthetics. It makes you look good. Sure, why not? Moving on to the final item that they added into the game, which is this right here. And this thing is pretty interesting. This is a drafting table. You're gonna have to wait until you're level 45 until you can touch this thing. However, once you're able to get it, you can hop into this menu right here. And if you have multiple of the same blueprint or schematic, you can then combine those to raise the tier of that schematic. For example, I have a multi-guided missile launcher schematic common. I currently only have 2 of those. So if I had 5 of them, I would be able to raise that common schematic into this uncommon schematic, which is pretty awesome. Meaning that if you're out there farming and you keep getting the same thing over and over, you can still take that reward and make it into something better later on down the road. At least it's giving you more options to be able to get to what you want. So farming in this game is actually worth it. Like, you have some type of progressional path going for you now. You're not just going and getting some piece of armor that you'll never use. Eventually, if you get enough of that schematic, you'll be able to combine it to make the higher tier schematic. That's a good trade-off right there. I like this being added into the game. It gives us options. Now you do need to have a PAL that has handiwork in order to operate this thing. So just know that is a thing moving forward. And of course, they added crossplay into the game. Super simple, super seamless. All you have to do is before you log into your world, you're gonna have the option to turn on or off the multiplayer option, turn it on, then come right over here to your options and you're gonna see your info. Right here in your player info, it's gonna give you a invitation code. You give that invitation code to any of your friends. They'll type it in on their home screen. They'll make a character and then boom, they're added into your world. They will have to start from level 1, but they're gonna be added into your world and it's time for you and them to have fun through crossplay. Now, a little bit of a caveat on that. Xbox users, everything looks pretty smooth, normal, no problem. On the reverse tip of that, when I logged into my PlayStation version of the game and I had an Xbox person in front of me, the Xbox player was chopping all over the screen. So hopefully they optimize that, they get it looking better in the future, but it's still a way to play with your friends on cross-platform. So hey, we still have the option, which is pretty amazing. That's going to be all the brand new features and content that they added into the game. Let's move on to the patch notes. Okay then, and that's going to be the brand new content that has been added into the game. Next up, let's go into the specification adjustments. So buildings can now be placed even if they overlap with a PAL. Phenomenal. That should have been in day 1, but I'm glad they finally got around to it. When connecting foundations or roofs, the connected pieces will now automatically align in the same direction. Thank you. Yo, building anything in this game has always been a nightmare. We all know it. We've all been there. So this is a step in the right direction. Moving on, assigning an ice pal to the flea market will slow down the decay in storage and sales. Awesome. Added torches at the entrances of random dungeons for better visibility. Players can now sit on chairs and cushions. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. I gotta see this. I gotta see it for myself. I don't believe it until I see it. Let me pull out a chair or cushion. I know I have something. Have I not bought a single piece of furniture in this one? I probably haven't, because you could never sit down before, so I didn't even bother doing so. That's tough. But apparently if you have chairs and cushions, you're allowed to sit down. Can I sit down on the bed? Is that a thing? It says sleep. Okay, never mind. Rip. All right, but yeah, apparently you're allowed to sit down on chairs and cushions. Moving on, some weapons that dealt ultra high damage to trees will no longer drop items. So everybody that was all like, oh my God, rocket launchers are king. You know, you use a rocket launcher on a forest and you get the wood. Yeah, they heard you. They heard you and was like, no more of that. So apparently, if you take a rocket launcher to a tree, you get nothing but destruction. Wow. I mean, that hurts a little bit. I'm not going to hold you because now all of those trees are gone and you get no resources for that. So that's kind of sad. However, if it doesn't do that much damage, you do get the resources. For example, this laser rifle, it doesn't do that much damage, so you get the resources from it. So just use something that's a little bit weaker. But if it does crazy damage, kind of like this plasma cannon, I used to use this all the time to just one-shot a tree and get all the resources. I can't do that anymore. I can't. It just annihilates the tree. I'm really sad about this, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do. Balance adjustments. Ooh, all right. We always love this section of things, right? So, adjusted element chest rewards. Dog coins will always drop from these chests, and they also have a small chance of containing work suitability books. Existing chests in current worlds will retain old drop tables. New ones will follow the updated table. But it says existing chests, so new chests. You have to find the new chests that have this brand new thing in it. Cool, no problem. All right, increased experience gained from defeating the attack chopper. Okay, cool. Increase the DPS of flamethrowers. Adjusted the default attack used by electric and dark pals when all active skills are on cooldown, making them more in line with the other elements. Ooh, that low-key sounds like a nerf, but I'm gonna let all of my OGs who have been playing this game nonstop let me know, is this a nerf or not? Moving on, some human NPCs now have work suitability and work animations when assigned task at the base. That's awesome. That's actually pretty damn good. I love that. Summoned raid bosses can no longer damage other bases. Added water attribute to the mud. NPC event rewards have been adjusted to maintain fairness. All NPC conversations logs have been reset, allowing players to claim rewards again. Interesting. I don't really understand. NPC event rewards have been adjusted. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to look more into this because I don't know what it's pertaining to. Like, I don't understand the subject matter. The context of this is kind of like flying over my head. I'm gonna do some more research on that one. UI. Favorites have been categorized into favorite 1, 2, 3 groups. So they did add this in this update. Okay, so I didn't know exactly when they added that, but that to me is phenomenal because I wanted like my squad, the specific pals that I'm always using to be in one type of favorite group, and then having other favorite groups on top of that is just phenomenal. So like raid only, and then I guess you would say base only. Like, yes, this is one of the best features ever added into a game for me personally, to be able to categorize things. It makes things a lot easier for me. So thank you so much, Pocket Pair, for that one. Holding the plus or minus button in the PAL Soul Enhancement UI will now continuously increase or decrease the values. Cool. Added a new sorting option for PAL Box, sort by work suitability level. Interesting. Added an extra large text size option. Okay. Added full screen mode. All right, achievements. For achievements, they added several new achievements. That's it. That's all they're giving us. Look, we added a lot of them, so go get them. All right, cool. Bug fixes. They fixed an issue where the player could get launched into space while climbing. Okay, launched into space. Like, are you talking like straight into the air, like just launched out? I wish that would have happened to me. That would have been awesome. I want to see the stars, but I guess I missed out. All right, they fixed a bug where getting stunned by an enemy while riding a flying POW over water would send the player flying into the sky. Damn. Fix an issue where commanding a summoned POW to attack would also target the black marketer and metal merchant. Fix a bug where bounty tokens with identical passive effects did not stack properly. Okay. Fix an issue where players would sometimes get launched upward when dismounting Azurme. Fix an issue on dedicated servers where POWs could get stuck on the top of feed boxes. That happens on my world. Like, some POWs will get stuck like anywhere. They'll get stuck on top of furnaces. It's really crazy. Nocklum is struggling with task. Oh God, I wonder why. I'm gonna have to go check them out and see what's going on. I'll deal with that later. Anyways, fix an issue where raiding NPCs could attack players through walls if they couldn't reach them. That's just insane. That's not what you want to see. Fix a bug on dedicated servers where bounty token effects were not applied upon login. Fix an issue where attacking some NPCs did not add the player's crime level. And various many other minor bug fixes. There is one more follow-up to this, which is Xbox users. All right, so check this out. So the update 0.5.0.68196, that sounds like a mouthful. This fixed an issue where Xbox users' characters' save data could not be loaded on the dedicated server. Due to the release of the update v0.5.0.67935 today, characters' save data created on dedicated servers from newly created Xbox users between March 18th at 8 PST and before the server update will be deleted as a result of this bug fix. Okay. I'm pretty sure there might be a small group of people who just jumped into the game through Xbox during that time. But if that is the case, your character, unfortunately, will no longer be a thing. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience this may cause to our players. Hey, at the end of the day, they did an amazing job on this one. It doesn't seem like it broke anything in the game. So far from what I've tested, I've been in this patch for a while today on PlayStation 5, and everything is running pretty damn smooth. I do see some slight frame rates dropping every now and then. Nothing too serious, but I think that has something to do with other things rather than this update. However, like I was saying before in the beginning of the video, the textures look great. Glass and all the stone looks amazing. Things are not washing out like they usually would when I zoom in. That's awesome. The pals are moving around just fine. Things seem to be working like it's supposed to, like it's intended. And I can't wait to enjoy and see what all is happening with the global PAL box. I'm really interested on how that thing works. I will be testing out a couple of different methods to figure out how it all works out in the end. If you don't want to miss out on that, you already know what to do. Make sure you smash the like button and sub to the channel for more future content right here in the Palworld universe. It's your boy MSensei HD, but for now though, I'm gonna go ahead and slide up out of here.